In today's modern world, the big corporations are competing for another yet valuable resource that you have. It's not your money this time, it's your attention. Hello everyone, and welcome back. I hope everyone is having a great day. If not, this video might just turn your day around. Today's topic is going to be about how everything is trying to get your attention. Let's get into it. So, as I said before, companies in the past have wanted your money, right? They've always wanted your money so that they're profitable. But today it's kind of changing. Since the recent invention outside of the internet and social media, things have kind of changed. Big companies are starting to realize that, people are becoming more self-aware of their finances. So they switched to competing for money, which is a resource, very scarce resource, and competing for your attention, which is even scarcer. Because if you think about it, you can always get more money, but you can never get more time or more attention in this sense, right? Because we only have a finite amount of time unless someone invents how to live forever, but you never know. So, and then this brings me to my main segment, which is the idea of publicity, getting out there, getting your word out there, right? Getting hate, getting love, getting likes, getting dislikes, all of that. And I've heard this idea being talked about more recently, and it's the idea of good and bad publicity is still good publicity because you're getting that view, you're getting that attention. This is why people love Twitter, they love X, they love going on there and talking about hot takes because they get the views, they get the clicks, they get people to read it. And I think that's a good and bad thing. Whatever makes you happy, you do that, right? I can't control you, but it's a sad reality where people will say anything and do anything just to get the views and get the money. For example, would be, I guess, FaZe Clan or those big organizations, social media. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of them. I like them. I think they're doing good. They're providing solid entertainment, but they're a prime example. They are doing the craziest of content for clicks and views, and it works. Mr. Beast does it, it works. FaZe Clan does it, or not FaZe Clan anymore, ex-FaZe Clan. They do it, it works, and it proves my point. Social media needs your attention. These big, Mr. Beast, we'll talk about Mr. Beast. When he posts a video, YouTube pushes that baby out to everyone. Because it attracts so many people, and what he does the most craziest stuff that no one else can do, right? That's his whole niche. Now, obviously, this is a very basic level understanding. There's probably more, and I respect all these content creators because they have put in time into their craft, time into their work. So, I'm not spreading any hate. Still good. They figured out the art form of converting, getting people's attention, and it works, right? Maybe I got your attention based off the thumbnail or title of this video. Who knows? So, but then that brings me to another point. Why do people give up their attention? What I think is that people want entertainment. Everyone wants to be entertained. Throughout history, if we go back to kings and queens and castles and all that fun stuff, there were jesters, there were jokers, right? They were people to entertain other people. There were plays, there were music, right? There were concerts. There was a lot of stuff to keep people entertained. And that's because as humans, we like the next new unique thing. And this is why when the invention of the internet, and mainly the invention of TikTok, in my opinion, revolutionized a lot of stuff. Now I know I'm going to probably glaze TikTok here for a little bit, but it revolutionized on how people's wantingness, that's not a word, but they want the next unique thing. Now, I know I've talked about this before, but it's still true. As humans, we always want that next unique thing, right? We just want to be that unique person. Maybe some of you want to be the main character in your life or whatever that means. I'm not really up to date on those trends, but everything is kind of bidding for your attention. And it's because they know that you're comfortable with giving it away. I'm not saying treat your attention like money, like a scarce resource. Just, I would say my tip, that I've been doing recently is being more mindful of what I've watched, right? I ask myself, am I watching this for pure entertainment purposes, or am I trying to learn something, or am I trying to pass the time? And majority of you might say, oh, I'm at school, I'm trying to pass the time. And I agree with that. For some, school is boring, and I'm one in that group, but learning is not boring. If you're learning about something new and unique, that'll be a whole nother topic for a different time. But I think, if you really want to use your phone to pass the time, go ahead, do it. Just don't get mad at yourself when you realize that, oh, I could be using my time better. Because you could. You could be, doing the basic things, doing reading, writing, everything, being creative. Everyone is creative in their own ways. Everyone has creativity, just needs to be unlocked or needs to be found or needs to get their inspiration. Now, I do understand the argument of, oh, social media is not bad, it's not doomed. People just, are using it just to be more creative, and because they're connected to millions and millions of people with these ideas. And you're not wrong. Social media is a great way to use it and get inspired to go create something, right? That's how many new artists start, musicians, art, maybe building stuff on Minecraft or doing anything. So I'm not saying social media is doomed and everyone shouldn't use it. I'm saying be more mindful. Start to think of your usage. Start to think how this is affecting your life. Because by you giving up that attention, that time, you're truly losing something valuable. You're losing your time. And I notice if you go on YouTube after this video, or now maybe, go and search, people, I don't know what the search is, but like go search like people like I stopped watching YouTube for X amount of days, or I read a book for this amount of days. And I've watched a lot of those videos and they all come kind of to the same conclusion that I like reading, I like doing this, I like doing this besides YouTube. Now obviously some might say, oh, I'm gonna go back on YouTube and do this. Yeah, that's probably for entertainment purposes or something, right? But it's true. Social media wants your attention. They want you to, be on there 24/7, have high amount of watch time because that's how they get paid based off your view. And they want you to view a bunch of stuff. And I don't know if this is true or not, but some people have theorized where, I need to do more research into this, keep in mind, but, they want a lot of people to be on YouTube and to be on TikTok, to be in Reels, just so that they can scroll endlessly, so that they don't do anything like creative, or that they don't go out there and start a business, so that there's less competition. Social media and its addictiveness can be talked about forever. It can be talked about how it makes people don't want to start a business, don't want to get a job, don't want to be a productive member in society. They can be used to argue a lot of things. And I'm not going to get to all of them today or ever because there's so many ideas. But just start to think about it. Start to think about how social media needs you, how, you're a cog in the machine. Now, don't take that the wrong way. Don't take that as, oh, he's whittling me. Take that as like, you have control. I notice a lot of these big social media influencers or Minecraft YouTubers that I used to watch back in the day. I realized, I remember this one guy, he talked about how he didn't really watch other YouTube videos. And when I heard that, kind of like flipped the switch. It's like, oh, you're a big Minecraft YouTuber. Why don't you watch other content so that you can keep up with the trend? And he, I didn't ask him this, but he went on to explain how he doesn't want his creativeness to be messed with, right? He doesn't want people to, other ideas to mess with his creativeness. And I believe that now. I believe that, once people start posting on the internet, yes, they use the internet for inspiration, or they use social media for inspiration, but they're not addicted to it. They're constantly creating, constantly posting. Now, keep in mind, some aren't. But it's crazy to me how people don't realize this, and how people don't realize that your famous influencer probably just is focusing on creating and doing life, and is living. This is why I see so many people love house building content on TikTok or Instagram. They love to see other people's lives and how they're doing it, how they're living it. And to me, no matter how you take, to me, I don't think that's a good idea. Look at other people's lives and be like, oh, I wish I was doing that. You can do that. You can go do it. Don't compare yourself to other people. Now, that's another video for it in itself. I can rant about that all day. But it's just, social media really has taken a lot of people's attention, and scientists project that you will use like what 1/3, one something measurement of your lifespan watching and being on your phone. I don't know if any of you have seen that chart where it's like your whole life in a nutshell. It's like all like the days, weeks, months, years, and it's like 1/3 will be spent sleeping, a little bit will be spent cooking, cleaning, doing house duties or doing whatever, doing chores, and then the rest of it will either be spent working on your career and or social media. And to me, it's like, wow, there's so much more in this world outside of social media. If you just look up. If you're walking down the street, just look up and look at the world around you. I suggest you guys be more mindful. And I can't change you to be more mindful. You will have to do that with yourself. So, what can you take away from this video? I want to suggest to you to be more mindful. Now, if you don't do it, you don't do it. I can't change you. Only you can change yourself. Maybe this video might have inspired someone to go out and do something. If that happened, good. That was the goal. So, I hope every single one of you has a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. And I hope every single one of you can find peace in your lifetime.